So, yeah, welcome to another wonderful masterclass with 10 analytics. All right. So quickly, let's get to know where you're joining us from. Yeah. So if you're joining us from Lagos, if you're joining us from United Kingdom, Manchester, Australia, yeah, just put it on the chat. All right. Just put it on the chat. Let's see where you're joining us from. Okay, David is joining us from Lagos, Nigeria. Damilola from Lagos. Uchi, Oka, that's great. Abuja, Folabi, Lagos. Amazing, amazing. Wow, I can see a number of persons are from Lagos. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Wow, I love the energy tonight. This is amazing. Okay, Kenya. Diana is from Kenya. Love Days, Canada. This is very, very great. So what are we going to be doing today? Yeah, what are we going to be doing today? We are going to be doing something very amazing, very, very key today, all right? Yes. And just as you can see on your screen, we are building our first Tableau report using a real life case study. Isn't this awesome? Yeah. So this is what we are going to be doing today. So before we get started, this is the person that is talking to you. So my name is Kingsley Andy. I'm a Microsoft Certified Data Analyst and Power Platform developer with over 5 years hands-on industry experience. Yeah, deploying solutions for company, not just in Nigeria alone, but also across Europe. So my proficiency encompasses diverse sector. Yes, it's cut across diverse sector, including consulting, edtech, and even finance. Yeah, I've proficiently undertaken dual roles, both as a data analyst and even as a Power Platform developer. And currently, I am a senior Power Platform developer at 10 Analytics, where I continue to leverage my expertise. All right, so yeah, I can assure you, you are in safe hands. So I'm just one of the facilitators that's going to be talking to you. We have more persons coming, all right? And during the course of this class, you'll get to meet them, all right? Let's move on. Now, what are we talking about next? We are talking about 10 Analytics up next, all right? So 10 Analytics, they are the one sponsoring this masterclass. Yes, 10 Analytics are the one sponsoring this masterclass. And who is 10 Analytics? Yeah. So 10 Analytics is an edtech company. That is, it is an educational technology company. And what do they do majorly? They help Africans, yeah, people in the Black community learn premium tech skills. They lower the entry barriers into tech. This is what 10 Analytics is mostly known for, all right? And they offer various services, all right? They offer various services that is aimed at building capacity, all right? Understanding different tech fields, including data analytics, which falls under what we are going to be doing today: business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, and even Power Platform as well, and the entire data ecosystem to enable our clients achieve data-driven decision making. All right. And most importantly, yeah, it will interest you to know that our facilitators are top professionals. That is, they work in reputable organizations. Yeah, they work in reputable organizations like Apple, Microsoft, McKinsey, Amazon, PwC, Deloitte, KPMG, Sahara Group, Google, and even Coca-Cola. All right, let's take it a step further. Now, let's get to meet the founder of 10 Analytics. Yeah, these are the brains behind 10 Analytics, the founder. So first off, yeah, this is Adesa Suleiman. Just as you can see on your screen, Adesa Suleiman is the founder of 10 Analytics. Adesa Suleiman is a data analytics expert. All right, he's a data analytics expert. He's a data analyst and business performance for Sahara Group Limited, and is also a consultant, a data analytics consultant at FITC. And did you know that Adesa Suleiman has close to a decade experience in data analytics and management consulting? He has worked in sports, professional services, edtech, energy, and even the automobile sectors. And He has trained over 8,500 participants. Yeah, you should say wow. So yeah, Efemina Ipo is the co-founder of 10 Analytics and is the business data support lead for the post office in the United Kingdom. All right, is a global business system analyst at Teleflex at Ireland and a business intelligence developer at DPD Ireland. Efemina is a data scientist with close to a decade experience, cutting across multiple sectors. And he holds a master's degree in data analytics from the Athlone Institute of Technology. Now, you want to hear about our achievements in the year 2022? I think you should see some of our achievements in the year 2022. Yeah, take a look at them. So in the year 2022, we helped over 500 people transition from the classroom into their first job across the world. We did not just help them transition from the classroom into tech. We helped them transition from the classroom into their first job in tech across UK, United Kingdom, US, Canada, Europe, and even Asia. Yeah. And it will also interest you to know that some of our participants works in most of these companies. I'm sure you can see Microsoft. I'm sure you can see Nestle there. Yeah, you can see several banks. You can see MTN there. You can see eBay. You can see Airtel there. You can see Cornwall. You can see a number of reputable organizations here. Yes, most of our participants, they work in all these reputable organizations. Now, take a look at our impact and features in the year 2022. Yeah, we did big things in the year 2022, just like we are doing big things in the year 2023. Now, in the year 2022, first off, Business Day carried among their headline, that 10 Analytics help Africans across 4 continents land jobs. That's interesting, right? Now, also Nairametrics. Yeah, 1 million up for grabs in 10 Analytics. Mustard Insights sponsored Mustard Insights sponsored data analytics hackathon in 10 Analytics. And that was 1 million naira. Wow. So Punch also carried that. Okay, Nigeria needs to make data-driven decision. We said so. Yeah, we said so. Business Day also carried a punchline and even PR fire. These are some of the headlines carried by the reputable newspaper companies in Nigeria, talking about the good we did in 10 Analytics in the year 2022. And that is not even all. Did you know that 10 Analytics also granted tech scholarship to 300 women in the year 2000? Yeah, 300 women. Did you know? And yeah, the second flyer you are seeing just by your right, this was our hackathon, our data hackathon this year. These are some of our judges, and look at how much we're giving out. $1,000 cash prize for 3 persons. That sounds interesting, right? Yeah, so let's get started immediately. There is absolutely no time. We have a lot to do today, and we are very passionate. We are very interested in you getting that knowledge in building your first Tableau report, your first report with Tableau. So what are we going to be doing today? First, you'll get an introduction to Tableau. Yes, yeah. I know maybe a number of us, this is our first time hearing that word Tableau. I know a number of us will even know about Tableau. What is Tableau? I know if I ask, I'm going to get so many comments. Yeah, but I don't want to ask. All right. So you get a brief introduction about Tableau, yeah, what Tableau is, and we'll take it a step further, building your first Tableau report. And let me tell you the truth, you are using a real life case study. Yes, you are using a real life case study to build your first Tableau report. This is a practical session. You're going to see how it's going to be done from beginning to the end to end. All right. So make sure you stay glued to your screen. Don't go anywhere. All right. And yes, up next, we'll tell you about our upcoming data analytics cohort. Yes, we'll tell you about our upcoming data analytics cohort. I think that was a typo error for next month. This is a special offer for you. Yeah. Just because you attended this masterclass, did you know that there is a special offer for you? Now, aside the knowledge you're going to get about building your first report in Tableau, there's also a special gift for you. All right. I have a special gift for you, and some of my facilitators that would also come up just after me, they also have special gifts for you. All right. So I advise you stay till the end of the session. So leave it stay till the end of the session that you're going to get that special offer. Oh, I think man, it was too fast. Yes, you're going to get that special offer. All right, for our next course. Now, up next, we'll also tell you about our growth internship program. Very important, very key. Yeah, our growth internship program, just as the name implies, is an internship program that is keen about growth. All right, you will want to hear more about it. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Stay glued to your screen. Now, yes, this is why we are here. This is why we are here. And guess who's going to be taking us for this session? Yeah, the practical session is about to start. And guess who is going to be taking us? Toyin Adesa. You will want to see more about Toyin, and you will also want to hear more about Toyin. Take a look at this. Yeah, okay. So Toyin is a data analytics lead at 10 Analytics, and she has about a decade experience as a data analyst, data scientist, and a machine learning engineer. Wow, I think I should get some wow in the chat. Yes, I should get some wow in the chat. If not, I'm not going to go on. I'm not going to call on Toyin. Yes, I'm not going to call on Toyin. See the professional that's about to walk us through how to build our first report. Take a look at I've not gotten any wow yet. Okay, Damilola is saying this is my first time. I've missed other screen. Oh, Damilola, that's fine, but I advise you stay glued to your screen and get enough knowledge from this. Okay, Oladile, yeah, this is wow. Now this is great, amazing, amazing, amazing. Yes, yes. So take a look at the wealth of expertise of Toyin Adesa. Okay, and she's working remotely for top firms across the US and even Europe. And did you know that she has trained and mentored over 5,000 people across different tech areas? And she has industry experience in banking, investment tech, ed tech, and yeah, the ladies in the house should hear this. She's an advocate for women in tech through training and mentorship. So don't worry, you're going to get hold of the slides, all right? So make sure you connect with Toyin Adesa in case you want to get access to our mentorship. So Toyin Adesa also has extensive knowledge and expertise with the use of Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, Python, MongoDB, and even machine learning. Wow, Toyin, even me, I am saying wow. Toyin, are you there? Wow, Toyin, everybody's clapping already. We can't wait to have you, Toyin. Are you there?
Yes, good evening, Kingsley. Thank you for that. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Welcome, Toyin. Welcome, Toyin. We can't wait. We can't wait.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I hope we're all doing great. Please let me see your response in the chat. Let me know how you're doing today. How are you doing today? Yeah, how are you doing today? I'm waiting for your response because today we're going to be learning Tableau and we're going to be looking at how to build a report in Tableau. Oh, sorry. I believe that's Emmanuel also. Sorry about that. You may want to change your location or something. All right. All right, good to know that everyone is doing fine. So today we're going to be talking about Tableau. And so I'd like to know your level of understanding or your level of knowledge in Tableau. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe that you know Tableau? So I want to see your comments. How much do you think you know Tableau? Someone says 0. All right, great. Okay. All right. Okay. Olutosin said 0. All right. Okay, so I think majorly we have a lot of beginners when it comes to Tableau in the call today. And so today I'll be walking you through how to go from your zero knowledge in Tableau up until the point where you can actually build a report or a dashboard in Tableau. So I hope we're all ready for this ride. If you're ready, please let me see your comments saying ready in the chat. Let me see your comments saying ready in the chat. All right. Okay, great, 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 great. All right, so today we're going to be looking at a real life case study, and that case study is based on the health insurance sector. All right, the insurance sector, specifically the health insurance. And so so you now are the data analysts. You all are the data analysts here, and with my help, you're going to be building a dashboard or a report for the health guard insurance. And let's take a look at what the case study is all about. All right, so let's take a look at what the case study is all about. So basically, this health insurance company called the Health Guide Insurance is trying to make sure that they have an accurate and competitive price for their insurance policy, specifically the health insurance policy. So they have received the data from another company, which is also into health insurance. And now we as data analysts are required to find out what factors they need to consider to be able to regulate their prices appropriately. All right, so they are looking at what factors generally affect the costs individuals are billed for health insurance. So now you or we are the data analysts at Health Guide Insurance, and so we'll be looking at already collected data from another insurance company. All right, so Health Guard Insurance has obtained data sets containing the following variables. We have the age of beneficiaries. We also have the sex, which is gender of the beneficiary, whether they are male or they are female. We have their body mass index, indicating their relative body weight. Then we also have the number of children that this beneficiary has. So we can see, when we look at the data set, you see that they have from 0 to 6 children. Different individuals have like between 0 to 6 children. Now, we also have their smoking status, whether they smoke or not. So where you see yes, it means that they smoke. And when you see no, it means that they do not smoke. Then we also have the region, which is whether the beneficiary's residential area, where the beneficiary's residential area in the US is, that is northeast, southeast, southwest, or northwest. And then finally, we have the charges, which is the individual's medical costs billed by the insurance company. All right. So let me know if you have a perfect understanding, at least an understanding of what the case study that we're looking at is all about. All right. So let me know. So in your own words, so this is how I will know. In your own words, summarize the goal of this data analytics project that we're going to be doing tonight. What do you think is the goal? We have a number of data sets and we have looked at the case study. All right. So in your own words, summarize the goal of the project that we're going to be working on tonight. So I'm waiting for our responses. In your own words, summarize the goal of the project that we're going to be working on. So what do we plan to achieve? Let me know if you got it. What do we plan to achieve tonight with Tableau? I don't want to say it again, but it's right there on the screen. So I know it might take a while to type all those things, but I'll just give us some minutes. In your own words, summarize the goal of the project that we have this night. I've not gotten any response yet. I want to be sure that we're all on the same page and we know what we want to achieve. All right, so Comforter Fred is saying that to help the insurance company to identify key factors affecting the insurance premium. Thank you, that's absolutely correct. So Uche is saying that we're looking at various factors to be considered in charging our customers or determining the charge that they will pay for their health insurance. Thank you so much, Uche, that's correct. Anthony said we want to look at the indices that will affect the pricing. Definitely, thank you. Analysis of the factor that impacts insurance premiums. Yes, correct. We want to know the key factors affecting the insurance premium. So yes, if you have said all these things, you are actually correct. So the goal of this project that we're working on, or this case study that we're looking at tonight, is to understand the factors that are affecting the prices of, or the charge or insurance premium, basically. All right, so thank you so much, everyone, for your responses. And we'll go to Tableau right now to work on the data set. All right, so because you do not have the slides, I'm just going to send a link for the data sets to you in the chat. So all you need to do is click on that link and go right there to Google Drive to download the data set. So I'm trying to open the data set so that I can get you all the link. All right. Okay. So kindly check. All right, so that's the link to the data set. All you need to do is click on your download button here. Once you click on that link and you open, all right, fine, Ocholi, we just got started. I have sent the link to the data set into the chat box. All you need to do is click on that and use the download button here to download the data set. All right, so if you would like to walk through the project with me, click on that link and then download the data set so that we can do this together. All right, so let me see if you have downloaded the data set. Let me see you're done in the chat box. I have downloaded the data set. Let me see you're done in the chat box. All right, it's very easy, very straightforward. I'm going to send the link to you again. So all you need to do is click on that link, right? Click on the link and then you see a download button right here, okay? Click on that link, you see a download button right here. All you just need to do is click on the download button and then you have the data set on your computer. All right, so I'm downloading it right now. Click on that and then you can see that mine has been downloaded. All right, so please do that quickly. Let's do that quickly. Let's do that quickly in case you want to walk through the project with me. Do it quickly. All right, great. Okay. So right now, I'll just go to Tableau. So if you have Tableau on your laptop, please kindly launch your Tableau. So once you launch Tableau, you will see this landing page. For some of you, this page might be empty if you're a first-time user of Tableau, all right? But for me, these are just some of the projects that I've worked on Tableau, and you can see them here. So don't be scared, don't be afraid if you don't have this on your screen, okay? That's probably because you have not worked on projects before on Tableau. All right, so yeah. All right, so before we go ahead, let me know. I have the data sets. All right, that's fine, Abdul Fattah. If you don't have Tableau, just sit back and relax and watch what we're doing. I'm sure that you'll be able to learn one or two things. And the good part is that the recording for this session will be made available on to you. Once you fill the attendance form, the recording will be made available to you. So you can go ahead and download the recording. And then in your free time, you can walk through alongside with us. I hope that's okay, Fatai. So please don't be worried, don't be afraid. Yeah, so All right, the link again. Someone is asking for the link again. That's the link. So please quickly go ahead and download the data sets. We do not have so much time again. So yes, I want us to continue now. All right. So if you have Tableau, yes, you can use Power BI, definitely, but today's case study is on Tableau. So the tool that we're looking at is on Tableau. You can use Power BI, but Power BI is not the same as Tableau. So the methods or the steps might not be the same. All right, so but you can use Tableau to achieve the goal of this project. You can use Power BI, sorry, to achieve the goal of this project, but we're currently using Tableau. All right, so before we move on, what is Tableau? So I'm getting links again. Okay, so I'm going to try as much as possible to send to you. All right, so before we move on, what is Tableau? What exactly is Tableau? All right, so Tableau is a business intelligence tool. And when I say business intelligence tool, basically, you use it to get insights, especially when it comes to business related data. All right, you use it to derive insights, you use it to analyze your data. And so Tableau, just like Power BI, is also a business intelligence tool. And Tableau is one of the most popular business intelligence tools available now. And it is easy to use. You will see that shortly as we continue, that it is very easy to use. All right, so Tableau is easy to use, and basically, it is a drag and drop tool. So all you just need to do is click on something, drag something into something, and then it's easy. So you don't need to write any programming, you don't need to code, you don't need to have any knowledge of coding at all before you can analyze your data using Tableau. All right, so Tableau is easy to use, and so that's why we're looking at Tableau, and we're looking at how you can leverage Tableau to do data analytics. All right, so the next step now is that we want to bring in the data set. So if you have already downloaded the data sets, okay, and you are ready to work with me, first step is that you click on text file. And why text file, okay? If you look at the data sets that we downloaded, you will see that it is a .csv. I don't know if anyone can see that right now. All right, so you will notice that the title says .csv, which is here, all right? So .csv files are considered as text files. When you have .xlxs or your .xlx, that is your Excel file. So in that case, you can basically use Microsoft Excel, all right? But the file that we're working with is a .csv file, and so it is a text file, all right? Because we are bringing in a .csv file, which is a text file, you're going to click on text file right now. When you get to your Tableau, you click on text file, all right? Once you click on text file, you will be taken to your computer, and then you need to find your way to where that data set has downloaded. So for me, the data set downloaded into the downloads folder, which is right here. And you can see it that it downloaded as insurance.csv, all right? So you click on it and then select open, okay? So let me say that again. I said, because we are currently using a .csv file, that is a text file, when you go to your Tableau, what you need to do is that you click on the text file like so, all right? And then select that file that you downloaded, which is the .csv file. And then when you do that, the next thing is that you now click on open. And then once you open, you will see the data set right here on Tableau, and you can preview the data set. All right, so let's take a look at this interface, and let me see if you guys, or if you can see one or two things here. So the first question is, based on what you can see on this screen right now, how many rows and how many columns does this data set have? All right. How many rows, how many columns does this data set have? I want to see people that have eagle eyes, okay? Let me see if you can actually see it. How many rows and how many columns does this data set have? Okay, 7 fields. Lawal Kolawole said 7 fields. And how many rows? How many rows? I know some people are saying 100. It is not 100. That's the original I'm going to give you. Okay, it is not 100. So you need to look well. Look very well. How many rows and how many columns? All right. Great. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Comforter. Thank you, Adiola is also correct. I know a number of people are correct on the chat, right? So you are not looking at this 100 because this 100 is just Tableau giving you like a few amount of your data set so that you can quickly see. But the true answer that we're looking for is right here, right? It is here. And what this is saying is that it has 7 fields, which means 7 columns and 1,338 rows. We have 7 fields and 1,338 rows. Those are our number of columns and the number of rows that are available on the data set. So if you got it correctly, I want you to quickly give yourself a round of applause. So let me see your comments. Just clap for yourself in the comment section. All right. Or you send in your favorite emoji. Wow, yeah, I think it was the first person to get that. Kola Wale, well done. Yeah, Comforter said, Pakma, Pakma. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and explore these data sets. Let's go ahead and start to explore these data sets. All right. So the first thing you need to understand is that in Tableau, this area where you have is the metadata grid, and you can quickly see what your data set contains. But when you start analyzing or when you want to start deriving insight from a data set, you will make use of a worksheet. All right, so down here, you can see data source, which is the page that we're currently on. Then just beside data source, we have sheet 1. So can everyone see sheet 1 right here? Can everyone see sheet 1 right here? Let me see your yes in the comments if you can see sheet 1. All right. So we have worksheets in Tableau. We have worksheets in Tableau. And if you already know how to use Excel, you know that we also have worksheets in Excel. But I'll tell you that your Excel worksheet is different from your Tableau worksheet. And how is it different? Your Tableau worksheet is the one that you use to create data visualization. While your Excel worksheet, you actually do data entry. And of course, you can build dashboard on your Excel worksheet. But your Tableau worksheet is primarily meant for your data visualization, or for you to build visuals, or for you to build charts and graphs, all right? That is what your Tableau worksheet is, okay? So if you got me so far, in your own words, I want you to write your comment and say, what is, define a Tableau worksheet? What is a Tableau worksheet? What is a Tableau worksheet? In your own words now, what is a Tableau worksheet? Because I've talked about the Excel worksheet, and I told you that the Excel worksheet is for data entry, and of course you can use it to create charts or build things inside. But the Tableau worksheet is not like your Excel worksheet. All right, so what is a Tableau worksheet? Yes, it's used for visualization. Is the place that houses your visuals or your charts or your graphs. All right, so I can see a lot of correct answers in the chat box. All right, thank you so much, everyone. All right, so I hope you're enjoying the session so far, as I'm trying my best to take you from level 0 to professional level in Tableau. So I hope you're enjoying the session so far. Okay, so right now, we want to start building our visualizations. And I told you that we have a goal today, all right? But that goal, I have helped you to break it down into different questions, The first thing is, does age have a significant impact on health insurance charges, right? Or on health insurance premium? does age have a significant impact on health insurance premium or health insurance charges as it is in the data set? All right, so we're going to look at that. Now, the first thing you need to understand is that when you are doing data analysis, right, you need to understand the variables that you are working with. In data analysis, your first step, right, after you understand the goal of your project, which is what I tried to do before the project started. See, can everyone hear me, please? Someone says she can't hear me. Can everyone hear me now, please? Let me know if everyone can hear me. All right.
I can hear you doing. I can hear you loud and clear.
So, Margaret, you may want to leave the call and join again. All right, leave the call and join again. Thank you so much. All right, so after you understand the goal of your project, one of the other things that you want to do as a data analyst or as a data scientist that is trying to analyze your data before predictive analytics, right, is first thing, what data do you have? What kind of data do you have? All right. So the first thing from this data set that we have, or the first question that we're looking at is, how does age have a significant impact on health insurance charges? Now, first thing you need to know is that there are two types of data. We have discrete data, and we have two types of variables. We have discrete variables and we have continuous variables. Okay, so let me define discrete and then continuous variable. For discrete variables, usually, excuse me, please. For discrete variables, usually it is data that is in text format and it is descriptive. So a good example of discrete variable is the color of a car. Now you're trying to describe the color of a car. And for example, you can have a red car, you can have a black car, you can have a white car, you can have basically color describing a car, right? Now, for continuous variable, it's a variable that starts from 0 up until infinity, all right? So usually they are numeric variables and starts from 0 up until infinity. So the range of that data is, or that kind of variable is numeric. So that is the continuous variable, all right? So I have mentioned, so example of the continuous variable is price of goods, all right? Example of continuous variable is price of goods, okay? So let me know if you understand discrete and continuous variable. So I want you to give me one example of a discrete variable and one example of a continuous variable. So I said a discrete variable is descriptive, trying to describe qualities, right? For example, color of a car, and usually is in text format, okay? So, and I talked about the continuous variable, which I said an example of it is price. Another example of continuous variable is age. Another example of continuous variable is BMI. So looking at this data source, we have a few continuous variables here. The age is a continuous variable, right? Exam score. So now I'm seeing examples. The sex here is a discrete variable because it is in text and it is describing something. Then we have BMI. You can see that it is numeric, ranging from 0 up until infinity. And you can see that this is now continuous variable. We have children, 0 to 6. It is also continuous variable. We have smoker, that is whether the person is a smoker or not. And it is also what? It is a discrete variable, okay? It is a discrete variable. Then we also have region, which is also discrete because what? It contains text, and usually you notice that your discrete variable is limited. You can either have like yes or no, like usually like 2 or 3 values or text inside, all right? So again, you also have charges, which is continuous. I hope we're all on the same page on discrete and continuous. Did we all get that? All right, so if you got the difference between discrete and continuous variable, let me see your yes in the chat box. All right, great. So it is important for you to understand that based on whether your data is discrete or it is continuous, there are visualizations that you can use or that are suitable for this kind of data, okay? So in this example, anytime you are comparing two continuous variables, you can actually make use of something called a scatter plot or a scatter chart. So when you're comparing two continuous variables, right, you can make use of a scatter plot or a scatter chart. And you're going to see what a scatter chart looks like very soon. And you start to see what information you can get from this chart. All right, take a look at the question. It says, does age have a significant impact on health insurance charges? So we want to compare two things. One, age and charges. We want to compare two things, which is age and charges. And we have established that age is continuous variable and charges is also continuous variable. All right, so let's start looking at that. Let's start creating a visualization to compare that, okay? And because there are two continuous variables, we are going to make use of what? A scatter chart or a scatter plot, depending on what you want to call it, all right? Okay, so let's take a look at what a scatter chart looks like. In Tableau, to create a visualization, it's very easy. You can always make use of this Show Me tab. So when you click on the Show Me tab, you see a number of visualizations.
Hello, Tony.
This for the first analysis that we are going to use. All right. So first thing, we're checking what are the two variables that we're checking? Let me know that we're following right now. For this first analysis we want to do, what two variables are we trying to compare? The first question that we're looking at, age and charges. Thank you, age and charges. Now I see that everyone is following, okay? So in Tableau, you can easily build visualization just by selecting those variables and selecting a visualization you want to use in the Show Me tab. So the two visualization or the two variables we want to work with is our age. So you click on age. Look at what I did. I clicked on age. Then you press your control button on your keyboard. You click on age, press your control button on your keyboard, and then click on the second one, which is charges. So now you have selected both of them, right? You have selected both age and charges, and you can see that they are highlighted in green background, okay? So you can see that they are highlighted in green background. Now, once you click on the Show Me, we are using the scatter plot. All you need to do is select scatter plot. All right, select scatter plot. And now we have a scatter plot. But you can see that here in the columns, we have sum of charges and sum of ages, right? We have sum of charge and sum of ages. And so this point now represents sum of age and sum of charge. But we want to see each of the age and each of the charge, okay? So we're going to click on this arrow down here and select dimension, okay? That's the first step. Click on the arrow down here, select dimension, then click on the arrow down on age and select dimension. Now, this is a scatter plot, and it is showing the relationship between the age and the charges. And what's the interpretation for this, okay? This point that you can see here is saying that this person's age is 52 and their charge is 12,593. So all these circles that you see is representing each individual in the data set. Each individual in the data set. I hope that makes sense to us, at least so far, how we came about the scatter chart. All right, let me know if it makes sense to you. how far or how we came about the scatter chart. Okay, let me see your yes if it does. Let me see your no if it does not. All right. Great, 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 great. Okay. All right, good. So I like to use a dot. I like to use dots for my scatter chart. So right now you can see that we have circles, 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 and you can actually change this shape that you have here. And how do you do that? You click on shape in the marks card. All right, you click on shape. Sorry, give me a minute. All right, so what you do is you click on shape in the marks card. So this is the marks card. You click on shape and then you change it to a dot here. So we want to use dots, all right? So I'm making use of a dot. I'm making use of a dot, and so that is the dot that I will be using. So you can see that I do not have circle again. Right now, I have the dots here. All right. So I want to reduce the size of that dot. So again, in this marks card, I'm going to also click on this and then drag the size down up until the size that I want. So you can see the size that I want. Now, I don't know if anybody already, what do you think is going on? Is there a relationship between the age of people and their charges? Let me see your comments. What do you think? Is there a relationship between the ages of people and the charges that they have to pay or the premium that they have to pay on health insurance? Let me see your comments. Is there, yeah, I want to know, what's that relationship? What do you think is the relationship? All right, someone said it seems there is a linear relationship. The charges increase with age, okay? Okay, all right. All right, so first thing that I notice is that these charges, they are clustered around 3 different ranges. If you look at it very well, the charges are clustered around 3 different sets. Like these ones now, they are together. You see this first line here, they are together. You see this second cluster here now, they are together again. And you see the third cluster, this line that looks like a linear relationship. They are clustered together again. So that's the first thing that I noticed, that between the charge of 0 up until like 16,000, there is a particular linear relationship that you see that is as if that as the age is going up, the charges are also going up. I don't know if you guys are seeing it, or is it just me? That set, you will see that set. Then this second one now, you see this second cluster. It looks like now between 10K and which other one now? And this one here, like this price, there is another selection or another cluster. And it's looking like as the age is increasing, the charges are increasing. All right. And then the last one, Precious, you said you are lost. Okay, so what you can do is the recording will be made available to you, Precious. So maybe you came late and that's why you are lost. All right, the recording will be made available to you. And after the class, right? So make sure you get the recording by filling the attendance form, and then you get the recording, and then you can also follow us from there. All right, so you can see the third cluster here, and it's looking like on that cluster too, there is a linear relationship. From there, as the age is going up, the charges are also going up. All right, so you're here to see something, okay? There is something that we're still looking at. Now let's bring in one more factor, and which is whether a person is a smoker or not. So I'm going to bring in this smoker, this variable smoker, and I'll put it under color. Now, when I put it under color, what do you notice? You notice that now we have 2 different color of dots inside. Remember that cluster smoker now is a discrete variable, okay? So you can see that the blue represents no, and then the yes represents yes, that is the person is a smoker, and then no, the person is not a smoker. Now, again, what can you see? What can you see? You can see now that smokers have like their prices are between that 0 to 10,000. Like non-smokers, their charges are lower compared to smokers that are here. So see the smokers here and see the non-smokers. The non-smokers are the blue ones. So you can see that non-smokers are dominating 0 to 10,000. So smokers have to pay more. So as now, if you're going to advise health guard on how to set their prices, you let them know that what? Smokers should pay more. Yes, smokers should pay more. So you can see it now that aside the fact that as their ages are increasing, the charges are increasing for these different 3 clusters. Also, you see that what? As for smokers, they should pay more than non-smokers. All right. So someone is already saying that he's enjoying the class. If you're enjoying the class as well, let me see your comments or let me see your favorite emoji in the chat box. All right. So that is just the first insight that we have been able to see. That's the first insight that we have been able to see. Now, let's leave this. And before we leave this, I want us to give this a very nice color, all right? So click on the color here and edit color. And then for my no, I'm going to give it a yellow color. And then for my yes, I'm going to give it this green. So that our dashboard is not just giving us insights, but it is very beautiful. And we're able to see, we're able to feed our eyes with good images and good charts. All right. Next question. So I'm going to name this worksheet. All I need to do is to double click on it and say, this is relationship between, I'm going to shorten between age and, please drop your question in the chat box somewhere. If you have a question, drop it in the chat box and I will take it as we continue or before the end of the session. All right. Relationship between age and charges. Now, the next question says, describe the relationship between BMI and charges. Is the relationship different for smokers or versus non-smokers? So the next question is saying, describe the relationship between BMI and charges. And is the relationship different for smokers and non-smokers? All right. So again, I'm going to select age because, BMI, that's body mass index. And I'll press my control key and click on charges. Then go to the show me tab and select my scatter plots because again, I am comparing 2 continuous variables, okay? So I'm going to click on this arrow down, change it to a dimension, and click on this arrow down and change it to a dimension, just like I did before. The next step is I'm going to change the shape from circles to dots, right? And I'm going to reduce the size of the dots. Great. So, no, this is too small. All right, I think this is better. All right. So here you can see, okay? You can see the relationship between BMI and charges. And basically, they seem like there is no relationship, like everything is just scattered up and down and everything is just there and you're not seeing any relationship, unlike this one that you could easily see the pattern immediately. But let's introduce something. Let's introduce the concept of if a person is a smoker or if the person is not a smoker, all right? So I'm going to go to the smoker variable and put it inside color. Now, looking at this, do you notice anything? Remember that your yellow color is no and the green color is yes. No meaning the person is not a smoker. And yes, meaning that the person is a smoker. Looking at this scatter chart or this scatter plot, what can you say about the charges and the BMI of smokers versus non-smokers? I just want 1 or 2 responses and then I will give my own insights, all right? Looking at this visualization, what can you say about the BMI of smokers, the relationship between BMI and charges, that is body mass index, and charges of smokers versus non-smokers. Okay. The higher the BMI, the more the charges. All right, I like that. But that statement is not complete. That statement, the lower level charges, not clear relationship. High charges seems to have relationship. Okay, so I think we're all getting it, but maybe we're not giving me the right words that I want you to give me. Okay, so that we can see it clearly, I want to bring in smoker into filter so that we can look at different category of smokers, that is smokers and non-smokers. All right, so I'll apply this and then okay. All right, so I'm going to create a slicer from this. Now, when I select these people, which is yes, I have only yes checked, and you can see that here all these people are smokers. What do you notice? What do you notice? These are the smokers, right? And this is their BMI versus their charges. What do you notice? I need 1 or 2 responses, then I can move on from there. We don't have all the time, so I might not be able to take everyone's response. But I want 1 or 2 people to say something. What do you notice about BMI versus charges for smokers? Great. You can see Oladele said that as the BMI goes up, charges also goes up. So it looks as if there is a linear relationship between BMI and charges, that as the BMI is going up, the charges is also going up for smokers only. For smokers only. So I'm going to create a trend line so that you can see, using that trend line, the relationship. So I'll need to right click on this and then say trend lines and show trend lines. Now you can see that this line is saying that as the BMI is going, like there is a linear relationship. As the BMI is going up, is like the charges also are going up, all right? And note that this is for smokers only. But when I uncheck smokers and I click on non-smokers, what does it look? It doesn't seem like there is actually any serious relationship, because everything is just around a cluster, all right? It's just clustered together, and you can't really see a relationship, like a linear relationship between them, all right? So that's to tell you that not just does the BMI affect, affect the charges, also it shows that for smokers, so that means that smoking is a strong factor for the amount that your health insurance is going to charge an individual. So for smokers, there is always this factor that says that if a person is a smoker, then there is a likelihood that their charges is going to be higher. All right, so that is our second visualization. Okay, so I'm going to call this BMI versus charges. All right, so that's that, and we're going to go to the third question. And the third question says, how does smoking status affect a person's health insurance charge? How does smoking status affect a person's health insurance charge? All right, so far we have seen how smoking affects health insurance charge, even using BMI versus charges. But can we look at a clearer, a clearer picture? Now, there is something called distribution charts or distribution plots in data analytics or data science. And this kind of chart helps you to see the frequency of a particular occurrence. So for example, I'm going to quickly create one so that you can see. We want to look at the distribution of charges of people. All I'll do is I'll click on charges and then go to the show me tab and select an histogram. Okay, I'm going to select a histogram, sorry. All right, so I clicked on charges and I went to the show me tab and selected a histogram. Now, having done this, what can you say about this histogram? You can see that majority of these people, or the people that were charged, or this data set, pay charges of between 2K up or until say 12K. So this is where most of the charges or the distribution of the charges is highest. And then you see that there are other people being charged, but most of the people that are charged are between this range. Right, it is right skilled. Thank you. It is right skilled. That is, a lot of people's charge is below the average. Thank you so much, Oladele, for mentioning that. But let us take a look at how smokers or non-smokers affect this distribution. So again, I'm going to bring the smoker into color, okay? What do you notice? Where yellow is non-smoker, the green is smoker. What can you say about this visualization? I want you to write 1 or 2 comments and I'll continue. All right. What do you see in this visualization? What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? Okay. What do you see? So this is the distribution of non-smokers, and this green represents smokers. Okay, this green represents smokers. Okay, lower premium for non-smokers. Thank you. Smokers distribution normal. No, smokers are not normally distribution because it has 2 peaks. So it looks like this, 1 and then 2. So it is binomial. So you can see that it has 2 bimodal. Thank you. So it's not normal. It has 2 different peaks. So it's like this. All right. Smokers are dying with time. Okay. All right. So we can see the first thing that I even want you to pay attention is that while the charges for smokers is starting, the lowest charge for smokers is 12K. The highest charge for smokers is 64K. So you can see that the smokers' charges are on the high compared to the non-smokers' charges. So what it means is that if you are a smoker, this is another confirmation that if a person is a smoker, please charge them, because the risk that they are putting themselves through is a lot. Okay, so charge them. That's what it means. All right, so I'm going to name this visualization and I'm going to call it smoker status, or distribution of, let's call it distribution of charges by smoking status. All right, so that is it. Again, let's take a look at another question, and it says, how does sex affect the amount a person will be paying on health insurance? How does sex affect the amount a person will be paying on health insurance? So again, you can see that we have 2 factors. One is a discrete variable, and another one is a continuous variable. So we want to also use distribution, and note that not all the time should you use distribution because there are different visualizations. I've been able to touch on scatter charts. I've been able to touch on histogram, and I'm going to touch on one more before the end of the class. But depending on the kind of variables you have, you can explore different visualization until you actually derive the insights that you're looking for. So the job of a data analyst or a data scientist is to explore different charts, different visualization. And as you explore them, you know what to use for what and what not to use for what. All right. So now we're looking at another histogram. And this time around, we want to see charges again by sex. All right. So I'm going to click on charge. And then again, I'm going to select the histogram. And this time around, my color is going to be sex. All right. So looking at this, I just want your insight. So I have colored them based on sex. What do you think? Is there a relationship between charges and the sex of individuals? All right. Okay. Is there a relationship? Okay, Oladele said yes. What kind of relationship do you think is there? Okay. All right, so because of time, I'll just quickly go over that. Yes, there is no significant difference. I like that, Samuel. There is no significant difference. So there is no significant difference. There is nothing really saying, pointing to the fact that, oh, prices are more for females and prices are less for males, okay? Based on this distribution, of course, you can see that there are more females because the bars for females are higher. There are more females in these data sets generally. But if you look at the shape of the distribution, right, it looks like it's following the same shape, right? So there is no particular significant, like there is no difference in the distribution of charges for female versus distribution of charges for males. So sometimes you will do your analysis and you find that there are some data that you have that are probably not relevant to your analysis. For example, in this case, sex is not giving us any significant information, so you can just pass. All right, but it's good that we have seen it. We have been able to establish that gender is not affecting the charges of premiums or the charges of insurance, health insurance. So yes, sometimes it happens that way. You might have something in your data set and it's not as useful as you think it should be. So yes, you can go ahead and just move on to your next analysis. So in this case, we are going to call this gender or distribution of charges by gender. All right. So finally, we have one more, and it says, does the number of children a person has and their region affect their charges? So does number of children affect charges? Does their region affect charges? And this brings me to another visualization, which is called the bar chart. All right, the bar chart. Now, sometimes you may want to create, you may want to look at distribution, or you may want to look at things like, you may want to compare discrete and continuous variables again, and you might not want to use the histogram, all right? You might not want to use the histogram. So again, you can use the bar chart. And let's see how we can use the bar chart in Tableau. The first thing is we're comparing region and we are comparing charges, okay? So you click on region, you press the control key and you click on charges. And then you pull up your bar chart. This is the bar chart. And in Tableau, there is something called the entire view, or the view of a data, right? Or of your visualization or your worksheet, right? You click on this and change it to entire view. Now, looking at this, you can see that word, the sum of charges. So this is saying sum of charges. So by default in Tableau, it aggregates continuous variable. Remember that I said that continuous variables are those ones that are numeric, ranging from 0 till infinity. So by default, Tableau aggregates them. And when I say aggregates, it does like an aggregate on it, which is sum, average, minimum, maximum. So the default aggregates that Tableau uses is sum. All right. So yeah, what we can see that based on the sum of charges by region, what do you observe? What do you observe based on the sum of charges by region? Based on the sum of charges by region. All right, so let me arrange this from this in descending order. So you can see that the region with the highest sum of charges is Southeast, while the region with the lowest sum of charges is Southwest. The region with the highest sum of charges is Southeast, and the region with the lowest sum of charges is Southwest. Now, however, while sum is a good way to look at different, to analyze data or to look at continuous variable. When you have an imbalance, okay, when you have an imbalance in the occurrence of a data or in the occurrence of discrete variable, for example, when you look at the number of people from each of these regions, so I'm going to take region into label, and quickly I'm going to do a calculation that you may not understand what I'm doing, but don't worry, you just see, okay? So now you can see this calculation that I've done. What this is saying is that there are 364 people from this region, and this is saying that there are 324 people from this region, while this is 325 and 325. Now, already there is an imbalance in the number of people in each of these regions. So your best approach or your best aggregate to use in a situation like this is average. And average creates a balance because your average is total sum of charges divided by the number of occurrence. So you can look at it that on the average, which region usually have the highest charges? So sometimes is not an accurate way to analyze an information or a continuous variable, especially when there is an imbalance in the occurrence of the discrete variable you're trying to compare it with, in this case, region, all right? So that means that here, we're going to click on this and change the aggregate to average. We're going to change it to average. Now, based on average, what do you notice? You see that Southeast, average charges for Southeast is highest, while average charges for Southwest is lowest. So on the average, what it means is that when you have a person from the Southeast, you may want to charge them more, while a person from the Southwest, you may want to charge them less than the person from the Southeast. I don't know if this makes sense to all of us. I don't know if this makes sense to all of us. Yes, Southeast remains highest, even with average, all right? So please, always, especially when you have an imbalance, always try to go for average. Average gives more information when there is an imbalance in your data, all right? I hope that makes sense to us. I hope that makes sense to everybody. All right, so if it does not, what I would advise that you do is go over the recording. In the recording, you can watch at your own pace, and you'll be able to catch up on everything that we have said today. All right. Yes, absolutely. You can use percentage. You can use percentage, okay? Try as well to use percentage. Percentage also works, right? So now you need to now do the analysis to be able to know, oh, which one gives you more information, and which one gives you more relevant insights in your data set. All right. Okay, so how do we get the recording? When you fill the attendance sheets, the recording will be sent across to you. Okay, so one more thing that we have to look at, and it is the children, number of children. I'll take questions, please. I'll take questions. Number of children that these people have, all right? So I'm going to look at this region, average charges by region, all right? So I want to change this visualization to a highlight table, all right? So I'm using a highlight table. Okay, so you can see the figures basically instead of the bars representing those things, okay? So the next one that we have is number of children, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is that in this case, I'm going to be working with number of children as a discrete variable and not a continuous variable. You know that number of children is numeric, 0 to 6. But Tableau is so flexible that you can work with a data or a variable, both as even a numeric data, you can work with it both as discrete and as continuous. So in this case, I'm going to be working with number of children as discrete, right? So I'll click on the arrow here and I'll change it to discrete, and then bring my, as a dimension, because dimensions work similarly as discrete variable. All right, so I'm going to take these 2 rows, and I want a figure showing the average charges of people. Remember that I said when there is an imbalance already, that what you want to use is average instead of sum. So I am going to show in figure the average charges of people with different number of children. All right, so I'm going to take my charges and put it inside text. Okay, so and then I'll change it to what? To average. All right, so based on this, what can you say? So let me first change it to a bar chart so that we can, I think it makes more sense. All right, so let me sort it in general. All right, so based on this, what is the insight that you can derive from here? What can you say about this? What information is this passing to us? What information is this passing to us? What information is this passing to us? All right. I need one response. 3 children. Do you mean 3 children? Because this is number of children. Oladele, you said 3 years, pay more charges. This is number of children. So I think number of children, yes. So yes, Tableau is free. There's a free version of Tableau. All right. So what I can say here is that people with 3 and 2 children pay the highest. All right. They pay the highest as charges, while people with 5 children pay the lowest. So what you'll be expecting is probably people with a lot of children will pay more charges. But you see that people with 5 children pay the lowest, while people with 3 to 2 children pay the highest, and then followed by 4 and 1 and then 0. Of course, this is a little bit strange, but now this calls for more analysis, okay? When you see unexpected results like this, usually it calls for what? More analysis. So what you want to do is you want to dig up more data. And that's why if you look at these data sets, we can say that it is not enough for the analysis that we want to do. And that's the importance of data. You want a very rich data set. But as far as we are concerned, even with this little data that we have, you can see that we have been able to achieve so much, and we have been able to see the key factors that are affecting insurance charges, right? All right. So based on this analysis, one of the things you want to do is seek for more data and do further analysis. And that's why the work of a data scientist or a data analyst never ends. There is always one analysis to do, right? You always want to research in depth. What can I see? What can I gain? What insights can I gain from this analysis that I've done? All right. So we have number of children. Okay, so quickly, I'm going to quickly build a dashboard from this. Like I said, I want you to just sit back, okay? So just sit back. Basically, I'll be building this dashboard, and after the class, you will catch up with the recording, all right? So I'm just going to be building the dashboard, and you'll be seeing what I'll be doing, and so there will not be this interactive section that we've been having before. So I'll basically just build the dashboard so that you can see what I've been able to build, and then you can also walk through that with the recording and get your own dashboard ready. All right, so I'm going to change this to automatic so that it occupies the entire space that I have. All right, so this is a Tableau dashboard, and the first thing you need to understand is there are tiled and there are floating objects that you can use in your dashboard. But we're not going to go into that today. We're just going to build the dashboard so that you can see. So usually your dashboard will have a title. So I'm going to use a blank to put my title inside, right? I'm going to put my title inside a blank space. Then I'm going to bring in my visuals, all right? So the first thing I want to do is also give this dashboard a background color. So I'm going to go to Format and then change the color to this ash here, this one. All right. Then this particular blank that I'm using, or this object that I'm using, I'm also going to give it a color, and I'm going to make it white so that all my charts can have a white background. All right. So I'm going to be reusing all of this. So I'll just right click on this and say copy dashboard item and do Control V to paste it. So yeah. So I'm going to resize it. All right. All right, so I'm going to do Control. I'm going to also copy this again, or just do Control V. Oh no, I want to copy the same size. All right, so I'm just going to come here and say copy dashboard item and do Control V again, so that I have them side by side. All right, so I'm going to do Control V again, and I have this right here. Okay. Again, I'm pasting another one. And resizing it. Pasting another one. How many do I need? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I need 6 of those containers. And then I'm going to resize it again. All right. All right, so we're getting close to a very beautiful dashboard. We're getting close. All right. So you want to get your alignments right when you're creating dashboard. Then I'm going to put this shape here. And bring it here. All right. Then the second one. All right, so I have this legend that came alongside this. So I'll just put it here. Okay, so then the next shape, I'm going to also place it here. Okay, so again, I have this chart, and I'm going to just resize what I have, and distribution. So we can see that the color for this is a little bit off, and one of the rules of dashboarding is you don't want to have too many colors or too many contrasting colors on your dashboard. So I'm going to have to go and adjust the color for sex or gender. All right. So again, I'm bringing in another chart, which is this. And this legend, I'll just take it down below it. So giving it that proportion. Right. Okay, so if you have any questions now, you can start dropping it in the chat box so that I'll just pick them once I am done, and I will answer them. All right, so I'm going to go back to this chart and then change the colors. For example, I give this my yellow color, go back to dashboard, now just, right. So color, like this color. And this, I'm going to use a custom diverging. And the first one is going to be the yellow, okay. And then this is going to be the green, because I've been following the yellow and green team. All right, so that's okay. And that works. All right. So here we go. Next is this. And again, I'm going to change the color. For female, I'll probably use the yellow, and then for male, I'll use the green, and that's it. All right. So when you're working on yours, I would like that you also do something different. I know you can come up with better ideas, better colors, and all of that. So we're left with the title of this chart, and I'm going to bring in a text object right here, and I'm going to write my dashboard name, which we're talking about so my dashboard title is going to be the Health Guard Insurance charges analysis. All right, so our Health Guard Insurance premium, or we can just say insurance premium analysis. Okay, so I'll increase the size, make it bold. I'll change it to 15 or even more. Then do okay. All right, and then bring it here. All right, so I need to just reduce the size to 18, and then okay. I still need to reduce the size so that it can fit into that space that I kept for it. All right, so I didn't highlight that, so you may need to highlight and then do okay. All right, so this is it. Okay, so I have like an image that is going to serve as a logo today. So we're rounding up quickly, and I'm going to take the questions, as much questions that I can. And I'll just bring in an image, which is already on my computer, right? I will just choose the image. And I have this here. Then I'll apply. Okay. So once I'm done, I'll resize it so that it can fit into this place. And yes, kind of, we have a dashboard built already. All right. So I hope you had a great time today. I know that this last part was because of time, we couldn't cover, or I couldn't explain to you step by step like I did in the beginning. But what you can do is go over the recording and try to watch the steps that I took. And at the end of that, right, you'll be able to also build this kind of dashboard. All right, so I am going to be taking questions. I know that I think that's Comforter or Samuel has been trying to ask a question since. Okay, so please, if you have a question and you want to unmute your mic and ask maybe one or two people, I will let you do that. And I'll also take questions in the chat, okay? So is it possible to use any other charts we can use for the previous inside done, upper inside? Those are the right chart types. All right, so here in this chart now, I'm answering your question, Comforter. So in this chart now, I was comparing a continuous variable, which is sex, and as well as charges. Sorry, a discrete variable, which is sex, and charges, which is continuous variable. And here I used an histogram with a legend that is colors for each of the sex so that I can see their distribution. And on this other chart, right, which is region by charges, again, I'm comparing a discrete variable and a continuous variable. But this time, instead of looking at the histogram, I'm using an aggregation, right, which is average. So what I'm saying in essence is that of course, there are some basic rules to some of these things. For example, you will not use a pie chart for just everything because the pie chart is a circle, right? And it's limited in space. So when you have like 5 discrete variables or 5 different categories, you don't want to use a pie chart because if you use more than 5 or more than 7 categories inside this pie chart, the space is small and will not be able to occupy what you are trying to, or it will not be able to easily show what you're trying to represent, right? So one of the things that you want to do is research about each of these different visualization tools or different charts or graphs that you have. Look at what it is used for, okay? Now, tailor your data to that, and you want to explore different visualizations. Sometimes you may use a pie chart and it will not represent what you want. It's representing it, but not very well. So you want to change it. You want to try a bar chart. You want to try a scatter chart, for example. But remember that there is a rule to scatter chart. You can only compare 2 continuous variables together. All right. So, like I said, there are some ground rules to these things, but feel free to explore, try out things. You never can tell. A visualization that is meant to show continuous variable doing things might even be able to represent other things better for you. So I think that's what you want to do. So your role or your job as a data analyst or a data scientist is to be able to explore these things properly and see what works for what. I hope that makes sense to you, Comforter. All right, so yes. All right, I'm checking out other questions. Okay, so please, if I didn't take your question, you may want to copy it and drop it in the chat box again. All right, someone said, please, is this Tableau an app? Because I have been trying to get it on my laptop, but I can't find the application. Yes, Tableau is an app. So what you can do is go to your browser, your Google Chrome, your Internet Explorer, whichever one you have, and just type Tableau download or Tableau public download, because there are 2 versions or 2 Tableau products that you can use with your desktop. There's Tableau public, which is free, and there's Tableau desktop that is not free, it's paid version. So you want to download the Tableau public. Yeah, I just answered that, Moses. Tableau public is free, while Tableau desktop is paid because it has some extra features. So what I'm working with currently is the Tableau public, all right? What I'm working with currently is the Tableau public, all right? How do you know the best chart to use while comparing data? Okay, so I tried to answer this earlier. I said there are different charts. You have pie charts, you have bar charts, you have column charts, you have distribution charts or histogram, you have your scatter charts, okay? So like I said, there are some ground rules. You may want to take up that responsibility of researching for that. So you have seen the scatter charts today, you have seen the histogram today, you have seen the bar charts today, all right? So take your time, research further about other visualizations. Like I said, your scatter charts, you want to do 2 continuous variable, and your bar chart, you want to check out continuous and discrete variable, and sometimes you may want to use some charts to look at 2 discrete variables, okay? So, like I said, one of the things you want to do is research about the ground rules. So that's where your ability to research and find out more or learn is coming from, all right? So I think based on what we can see, you can see a few number of charts that I've used and how I have used them. So yeah, you can go ahead and explore that ones on your own. Which is better between Tableau and Power BI and why? Okay, so which is better? I started out using Power BI and thought that Power BI was just the end of the world until I met Tableau. So I can't tell you that, oh, this is better and this is not better. I think it's for you to explore both and know which one you eventually work with. I know of someone who said they loved Power BI before, but the moment they started using Tableau, they felt no, Tableau was a better tool because you can manipulate and do more things with Tableau. But for Power BI, you might be a little bit restricted. I don't know what the person saw in Tableau, really, but I think this answer answer, or this question will be for you to answer. So explore Power BI, explore Tableau. It is when you now explore them that you will be able to know which tool is better for you. All right. So at this point, I will hand over to my colleague, Mohammed. Mohammed is going to shed more light into some of the programs that we have. And with time, we're going to take more questions. All right. Mohammed, are you there?
All right. Good evening, Tony. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Okay, so.
Yeah, I enjoyed today's session. It was a fantastic one. I'm not sure, if we have others on the call. I can see some people who already, indicated that they enjoyed your session. So if you learned something today, all right, if you're like me and you learned something from Tony today, type a yes in the chat and also type what you learned. Because I can also, mention some of the things I learned too. Right? What did you learn? Okay, yes. Oladile says all. Very good instructor, fantastic. All right, so also type what you learned. What did you learn? So you mentioned, a couple of stuffs, from the beginning of the session up until this point, from variables, type of variables to types of charts to, how your data can look like, whether it's balanced or imbalanced. So what are the things you learned? How to visualize data, all right? I learned about discrete and continuous variable, fantastic. The art of dashboard, fantastic. And that I love the word you used, KS. You mentioned art, and dashboarding is an art as well as a science. And you'd agree with me that dashboarding is an art and also a science from what Tony has showed us today. So got to know how to generate insights from the problem statement. Fantastic. That's comforter Fred. Right? That's fantastic. Tableau is a lot of drag and drop. Exactly. And that's why Tableau is a very fantastic visualization tool. All right. And interestingly, Tableau is just one of the tools you need as a data analyst or a data scientist. All right. Tableau is just one of the tools that you need as a data analyst or a data scientist. Okay. So you have other tools, right, that you would need, as a data analyst or a data scientist. Now, I'll share my screen. All right. I'll share my screen. I can still see your comments. Keep them coming. I'll share my screen and would continue from there. So I can see a lot of people saying, oh, I learned a lot in one night. Have you ever learned this much in a single night before? Have you ever learned this much in a single night before? Please confirm if you can see my screen. Okay, fantastic. So just give me a moment to present. All right. So let me know if it's better now. Are we good? Okay, I can still see some people's reactions. I am full, plenty. Okay, fantastic. So can we see my screen now? Can we see my screen? Can we all see my screen? All right. Now, what you have done with Tableau, right? What Tony has, showed us in Tableau is what we call descriptive and diagnostic analytics. So we have, several types of analytics. We have the descriptive analytics, we have the diagnostic analytics, as well as the predictive analytics. Now, what the descriptive analytics does is you do as an analyst, okay, a data analyst or a data scientist, you perform the descriptive analytics to understand what happened, all right? What happened? So you have a data set, okay? You have a data set and you're trying to figure out what actually happened. What does the data set tell us? So that kind of analysis is called the descriptive analytics, all right? And then on the other hand, you have the diagnostic analytics. And the diagnostic analytics, answers questions surrounding why did this thing happen? How did this happen? Okay, I analyzed data. I discovered that, the smokers have a particular relationship when it comes to their body mass index as well as their charges. Now, why is that the case? Right? Why is that the case? That is where your diagnostic analytics come in, right? And you start to answer that question. And then we have the predictive analytics. Now, when you have after having a good understanding of what happened and how or why what happened, you can now start to project, okay, what may likely happen based on this information that I have at hand. And it's very interesting to know that the primary function of a data analyst is centered around descriptive and the diagnostic analytics. So as a data analyst, your core function would be to answer questions surrounding what happened and why did it happen? All right, why did it happen? And the data scientist, okay, is primarily focused on predictive analytics. So after getting a good knowledge of what happened and why it happened, you also take a step further as a data scientist, all right, to predict. So, okay, based on what has happened so far, all right, and having a good understanding of why it happened, what may likely happen, all right, and that is, one of the core functions of the data scientist. So I want us to type in the chat. Do we understand the core functions, the primary functions of a data analyst and a data scientist? Yes. Abel says yes. Abdul Fatai says yes. Mayakun says yes. I want to see more responses. Okay. Gloria says yes. Fantastic. So that's the major difference between. So I can see your responses. All right. So let's keep it coming in. Comforter says yes. Fantastic. All right. So we have a very good understanding of the core functions of a data analyst, in contrast to a data scientist. So now I want to ask you guys a question. Which of these career paths do you naturally have interest in? So for data science, if you're interested in data science, if you're interested in being a data scientist, just type DS, or a data analyst type DA. All right. So DA. So let's see who wins. So it's a contest. So DS. So the DS are leading. Okay, DA has taken the lead now. Okay, DS, DA. So we have more of DA people. All right. So we have more of people who are interested in being a data analyst. So is it that we don't like to, predict what may likely happen in the future, or why is this the case? So, all right. So it's, in fact, you are absolutely free to choose which career path interests you. All right. So you're absolutely free to do that. Now you can see people have interest for data, to be a data analyst. Others would like to be a data scientist based upon the job functions or the core functions of each of these professionals. Now let's take a deeper look. Let's zoom into who a data analyst is and what are the core skills. What do you need to become a data analyst? Now you saw Toyin. Toyin demonstrated one that's like a day in the life of a data analyst or a data scientist. All right. So, and she has made use of one core tool that you need as a data analyst or a data scientist in your day to day, which is Tableau. So, but what are the stack of tools you need to actually get started as a data analyst? So, you want to be like Tony, you want to be like Mohammed. So, I'm sure some of us may have not met me. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. Okay, my name is Mohammed Suleiman. All right, I'm a senior data associate here at Analytics, and I also, work with participants. Train participants. I've trained almost 2,000 participants, and helped a good number of them get jobs. Okay, and I'll be sharing some, exciting stories. Even very recent success stories, as a matter of fact. So now back to where we are. What are the core tools you need to actually succeed or get started as a data analyst? All right. Now, as a data analyst, I won't bore you with, okay, what are the functions of a data analyst? I'm sure if I throw the question out, you'll be able to enumerate who a data analyst is and what they do. But what are the tools? First of all, as a data analyst or a data scientist, all right, or even a tech talent, you need to understand what we call problem solving. Now, if I ask you, do you understand what a problem is? Or have you ever faced the problem? Have you ever solved the problem? We may likely say, yes, we have. Okay? Or is there anybody on this call who has not solved the problem before? You've never faced a problem, you've never solved a problem. I don't think would have such a person on the call. So I want to see your responses, guys. Let's see your responses. Have you solved the problem before? Have you solved the problem before? Even the rice we cook at home is a problem. Fantastic. So I love that analogy, comfort. Now you face problems in different shapes, different forms. Now, as a data analyst or as a data scientist, what's the mindset you need to carry into solving a problem? So you'll be learning here at analytics, you'll be learning the concept of problem solving. All right, you'll be learning different frameworks like crisp DM framework in solving problem. How do you break a problem into bits and pieces such that you answer the key questions and come up with insights. Now you notice in the dashboard that Toyin built. All right, the questions were clearly enumerated. So how do you break a problem into such questions, key questions that actually, answer and solve the problem while doing so? All right. Now, after problem solving, you need to understand Excel as a data analyst. All right. So you'll be learning Excel for data analysis. Now, if I ask you again, how many of us have used Excel? We may likely say yes, right? But you'll be learning Excel for data analysis. In many of our sessions, if you've joined some of our sessions in the past, you'd see us we built an interactive and automated report with Excel. A lot of people don't believe that this is possible with Excel. So if you have not seen that session, please go to YouTube, type Analytics, ensure you follow our channel so you don't miss any of our exciting videos. All right. And you can also catch up on some of our past sessions, on our channel. Now, you also need to learn SQL. Now, SQL is a database. All right. It's a database too. All right, where you store your data. Now, you see that doing work with the data set. So in some cases, that data set will be stored in a tank called SQL. All right. So you need to know how to extract data from that database. So the understanding of SQL is very important for a data analyst. All right. So you'll be learning that as well. Now, I saw some people asking in the chat, oh, Power BI or Tableau, Power BI or Tableau. It's a never ending argument. Which is better? Which one is better? Which one should I learn? To choose one, which one should I choose? Now, you'll be learning both Power BI and Tableau in our data analytics track. All right. And I can tell you for free that we are one of the only platforms where you can actually learn both visualization tools. All right, both Power BI and Tableau. And what this does is it puts you at that pedestal that sets you up as a top tech talent to potential recruiters. All right, having a good knowledge of both Power BI and Tableau, gives you a head start when seeking for jobs, because that's the end goal of learning all this. Now, you've learned Power BI, you've learned Tableau, you go to data storytelling, and you'd see that Tony actually showed us a bit of data storytelling, telling us that, oh, this is what's happening with the chart, right from the first chart to the final chart. So it's not just about building dashboard. What's the story and what's the narrative behind the dashboard that you're building, right? And we have two more things that you'll be learning in our data analytics track: ChatGPT for analytics and Microsoft Fabric for analytics. Now, how many of us have heard of ChatGPT? I know by now a lot of us should have heard of ChatGPT. So if you've heard of ChatGPT, say yes. If you've heard of ChatGPT, let's start from there. If you've heard of ChatGPT, say yes. Fantastic. Fantastic. Yes. Yes. ChatGPT. So it's becoming very popular now. But how many of you have used ChatGPT for analytics before? All right. How many of us have used ChatGPT for analytics? No, I've not used ChatGPT. Some people may have tried to use ChatGPT for analytics. Fantastic. But as a professional in your day-to-day, how do you leverage the power of ChatGPT? How do you leverage the power of ChatGPT, to improve your efficiency in your day-to-day? All right. And we've also held sessions, on how to use ChatGPT as a data analyst, as a data scientist. You would also find that in our YouTube page. So our YouTube page is packed with information that you can leverage. All right. So ensure you follow our YouTube page and subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. So ChatGPT is it's just like your WhatsApp, right? Only that you have a robot at the other end giving you real-time feedback. Okay. And you can leverage this tool as a data analyst to improve your efficiency. So when others are spending hours, trying to crack a particular data set, you would spend just a few minutes and you come up with very, very compelling insights. All right. So it's not just about being fast, it's about being efficient at the same time. So, and you'll be learning Microsoft Fabric. Now, in order to stay very relevant in the tech space, you need to keep up to date. You need to stay up to date as far as the industry trends, and new developments are concerned. So Microsoft Fabric is a new tool designed by Microsoft, all right, and it's a one-stop shop, that houses tools like Power BI, real-time analytics. It also houses your notebook for data science, and many other suits, ranging from data engineering to data analytics and so on and so forth. So you'll be learning that also in our data analytics track. And you can see what you stand to gain as a data analyst. In the UK, on an average, you'll be earning around £40,000 on average as a data analyst in the UK. Now, this is not the highest salary you can earn as a data analyst. We have participants, in the UK, in the US, in Canada, who earn way above this average. All right. So this is the average salary you can earn as a data analyst in the UK. You can see in Canada, you have 64,000 Canadian dollars on average. Again, guys, on average. Now, in the US, you earn up to $72,000 on average as a data analyst. Okay, and I'll talk more on how long it takes when you join our program. Right now, some of us said we would like to be a data scientist, and we also, the core functions, the primary functions of a data scientist, like I discussed earlier. But what are the actual things you need to learn to get started as a data scientist? Now, you need to have an understanding of statistics. And Tony touched on one of the very core and primary things you need to know as a data scientist. When you see a data set, you need to be able to differentiate between what we call a categorical data set, okay, or a discrete data, and a continuous data set. All right. Now, and this is basically as simple as text data and numerical data. So that's one aspect of statistics that you need to learn. All right. Now, you'll be learning statistics. You'll also be learning forecasting and predictive analytics using Microsoft Excel. Now, for those of us who felt, oh, I know Excel, I can just pass on Excel. Have you ever used Excel for predictive analytics? Have you even heard of predictive analytics before? Now, you'd see that the spectrum, of analysis that you can do is very wide. So, and you are taking a step further as a data scientist in what you can do with analytics, which is predictive analytics. And you learn how to do that with Microsoft Excel. And we'll be walking you through right from the scratch, walking you up the way to the different techniques you need to learn as far as forecasting and predictive analytics using Excel is. You also be learning Tableau, and you saw a snippet of what Tableau can do. So you do a bit of forecasting with Tableau also, in the data science track, all right? And just like the data analyst, one of the core tools you need to understand is SQL. Now, you'd get to work in several organizations that house their data in what we call warehouses. So these warehouses run on SQL. Now you need to understand the language to communicate with this warehouse so that you can extract data for your analysis. And you'll be learning SQL, right? One of the easiest coding languages you can ever learn. All right, it's very close to your natural language, right? The same English that you speak. SQL, is very close to that, right? And it's very easy to learn. Now, you also be learning Python. As a data scientist, Python is your bread and butter. All right, Python is your bread and butter. Now, guys, if I ask you, do you like Python? Yes or no? So I'm sure those people who went for data analytics prior would say no. Okay, success says no, comforter says yes. So the data analysts are likely to say no, and the data scientists are likely to say yes. Now, for those of us who have said no, I would urge you to be in our next session, coming up on Sunday. All right, I'll be taking that session and I'll be walking you through visualization using Python, and you see how dead easy it is to learn Python. And I'll tell you for free that this moment that we are in, right, is one of the best times to get into the tech space, whether it's data analytics or data science or some of the other programs that we offer, like Kingsley mentioned at the beginning of the program. Right, so it's very good. Okay, it's not difficult. So Python, now as a data scientist, is your bread and butter, and that's what you'll be using, right, to do many of your predictions. So you'll be building models, that can predict based on what you've fed in, as far as data is concerned. All right. You also, and under Python, you'll be learning what we call exploratory data analysis. And that's basically what you have done in today's session, right? To explore the data, you get intimate with the data to see what exactly is going on in there. All right. And I saw many of our contributions. We all participated, in arriving at, some of the insights that the data had to present. All right. One of the charts I really enjoyed was the first chart, okay, showing that, the people captured in the data set were clustered into 3 different groups. And straight away, you could start to tell your story from there. So exploratory data analysis, covers that area. Now you'll be learning machine learning, all right? Machine learning. You'll be building robots. You'll be building robots that can learn, okay? So now, what does this mean? You build models using Python that would go into your data set and perform very complex analysis beyond what you can see. All you need to do is to summon the model, right? Train the model with few lines of codes, and then you can begin to extract insights and make predictions using the models, all right? So you'll be learning machine learning, and you also be learning what we call computer vision. Computer vision. Now, your iPhone, all right? Your iPhone runs on, a software that has Face ID, all right? It can ID your face. So how do you think your iPhone does this? Guys, how do you think your iPhone does this? Do you think it's sorcery, or it's just some set of smart people that built it? What do you think? How do you think your iPhone does it? You can just type it in the chat. Use a word, one word. Do you think it's magic? Is it just use a word to qualify? How do you think? Okay, sensor. Okay, somebody says sensor. Ladele says sensor, and you are right. All right, you have the camera. You also have the Face ID sensor. All right. Somebody says machine learning. Fantastic. So apart from the sensor, which is the hardware, okay. For example, you have digital cameras, but can your digital cameras actually identify you as a person? The answer is no, not all cameras can do that. So beyond just the hardware, you have softwares, machine learning, algorithms, face recognition softwares, exactly. And these face recognition softwares run on what we call computer vision. So this is you learning how to give eyes and brains to a computer. So a computer sees your face and understands that, oh, this is Mohammed's face, this is Tony's face. And you'll be learning that in the program, all right, for the data, full stack data science program, all right. And you can also see the average salary that you stand to get as a data scientist. £50,000, all right, in the UK, 94,000 Canadian dollars on average now, guys. On average, right? In Canada, you have 121,000, six figure straight off the bat in the US. All right, and you can imagine um what that feels like. All right, so that's a bit of what our data science, full stack data science track um the full stack data science track, entails. So somebody's asking, are the salary for experienced or beginners in the field? Now, this program is put together to walk you through from start, okay, from zero experience to becoming an experienced professional. And how does that work? You work on real life case studies, just like what's doing, walked us through in today's session. And I asked you, what did you learn? And many of us said, oh, I learned how to generate insights from data. I learned how to do this. I learned how to do that in just about an hour, ridiculously. Now, think of doing something like this for the next 4 months. What do you think you'd achieve? What do you think you learn? So the program is designed, to give you that experience, okay, such that after 3 months, you're confident and you're able to apply to jobs. All right. So Comforter says, I will become a Superman. Absolutely. And our program is a 4 months learning journey, right? 4 months learning journey. So it's going to be 3 months of live classes, right? 3 months of live classes, okay, where you'd have a facilitator, just like you have myself in this session, walking you through step by step on how to become a data analyst or a data scientist, or just like how Twin, was walking us through step by step on how to build and generate insights from data using Tableau. Okay, so you'd have these sessions for 3 months, okay, and it will run on weekends. So on Saturdays, you have your live classes, all right, and on Sundays, you have what we call your self-paced watch me do it video. All right. So the classes on Saturdays would be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we have two time zones to cater for, people in Europe and others who are in America. All right. So if you're in the UK, you're in Europe, you're in Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, right, or you're in the Middle East or Asia, you have 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. Right? So that time zone suits people in the UK, in the Europe, in Africa, Middle East, or Asia. All right. So, and if you're in the US, you're in America or Canada, all right, we have classes 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Toronto, Canada time. All right. And just like I mentioned earlier, on Sundays, you get your self-paced watch me do it videos. And these videos set you up for the next class. All right. So they set you up for the next class and you have a lifetime access to all these materials so that you can always fall back to them for reference. All right. So you also have what we call your capstone project. So your capstone project comes after you have completed your 3 months learning journey. So you're going to put your your skills to the test and solve actual problems also, just like you'll be doing in class, just like we did in today's session. Doing showed us how to do that. All right. So you are going to be doing a capstone project. All right. And then after that, you'd have what we call your free 1 month virtual internship. And this has been one of the uh, things that have increased or boosted the confidence of many of our participants and helping them landing jobs. All right. So this is how the program runs. Okay. Now, all these that I have mentioned, all right, is just 50%. 50% of what you need to actually land a job, because you're actually learning these skills to get a job, right? To get that pay, to also get involved in solving problems and being impactful as a person. Now, like I see somebody asking, is the 4 months learning journey free? Is there a physical class? And I'll come to that. I'll come to that shortly. All right. So all I've spoken about, when you talked about how to extract insights from data, this is just 50% of what you need to learn to get a job. Now, you now ask, what are the other 50? What are the other 50? Now, the other 50 are the ones that actually land you the job. And what are they? Now, we hold sessions on a weekly basis, okay, covering what you can see on my screen, ranging from the CV review. Now, a lot of people don't know that your CV is a paper representation of yourself. Whoever you are, your CV is a paper representing you. So how do you structure your CV in such a way that you are able to land a job? Now, a lot of people don't know that we have what we call the ATS. ATS. Now, whenever you see a job posting, right, thousands of people apply to that job, including yourself. Now, how does a recruiter manage to go through every single CV that has been submitted? They use what we call the ATS. The ATS, Applicants Tracking System. All right? The Applicant Tracking System. Okay? Now, this is basically a program, that takes a look at your CV, all right, and looks for some key metrics. Okay, does it match the job description? Does it match what we are looking for? And it either selects it as one of the recommended CV, or drops your CV and sends you a rejection email. All right. So how do you get past the ATS? By structuring your CV. So these sessions, would cover how you should structure your CV, how your CV should represent you in order to put your best foot forward. All right. One other ingredient you need to succeed as a tech talent, to get a job, is your LinkedIn optimization. Your LinkedIn profile is your social proof. Whenever you apply to jobs, on your CV, you have your LinkedIn profile link in there. Now, recruiters go there to, take a look. Is so and so the data analyst he or she claims to be? Is so and so the data scientist he or she claims to be? So your LinkedIn optimization sessions will hold on a weekly basis as well. All right, taking you through how you need to optimize your LinkedIn profile to attract potential recruiters. All right, we also have the Upwork optimization session, and this session, all right, is centered around remote working. Remote working. Now, Upwork is one of the finest platforms you can get remote opportunities. So let's say you're in Nigeria, for example, or you're in Ghana. Okay, and what you want is to earn in dollars, right? What you want is to earn in dollars. Absolutely, you can do that here on Upwork. Okay, but how do you optimize your profile so that you come across as a top tech talent? All right, so that you can actually land these job roles. So you get to learn that in our session. Okay, now again, you'll be learning what we call navigating the job market. Navigating the job market. Now, you see, many of us at the beginning of this call, we indicated that, oh, I'm joining from Lagos, I'm joining from the UK, I'm joining from Canada, and so on and so forth. Now, in these several locations, there are ways, you access the job market. There are ways you navigate and find your way, position yourself in the job market. So how do you do that? Because there are specifics, if you're in the UK. There are also other specifics if you find yourself in the US and Canada, If you're in Asia, you also find, some specifics. So we bring in, several professionals, all right, who have walked this path, and they walk you through step by step on how you need to position yourself as a tech talent and finally get that job. Okay. Now, we also have the recommendation and reference letters. So now you've gone for interviews, right? And you need someone to stand, okay, and vouch for you that, oh, so and so, have worked with us, all right, and they've demonstrated um advanced technical prowess in so and so to this and that. We write compelling recommendation letters for you. And this has actually played a significant role in landing our participants. Very juicy jobs across Europe, across the Middle East, across the US as well. All right. And you'd have opportunity, you'd gain access to this, by joining our program. All right. Now you also have one very fantastic session. Okay, and I'll be talking more about this, as we go on. And I can see your questions in the chat. How much does it cost? I'll get to that shortly. All right. So you have what we call your job interview prep sessions. Now you get called for an interview. All right. You get called for interview when you apply to jobs. So you have sessions where one-on-one sessions with professionals like myself, like Tony, walk you through step by step on how you need to position yourself in front of the recruiter. What are the things? What are the questions you need to have at the back of your mind stepping into that interview session? All right. How should you prepare? How should you introduce yourself? All right. So we'll walk you through step by step on how to get yourself ready for an interview. I've up to date, I've prepared a number of people, a number of participants for interviews, and they've gone on to land the job. Okay. Even up to today, I still received a news. All right. One of our current participants in the August cohort landed a job with the NHS. All right. And I was so happy to hear that. Okay. And then you have your weekly mentorship sessions. All right. So it could be challenging, working this part, in becoming a tech talent, all right, a data analyst, a data scientist, any of the other programs that we offer. So we've identified that there may be challenges, and from time to time, you need to be motivated. You need, to ask questions. Oh, I've done all these things you said, but it's not working. What am I doing wrong? So you have these sessions where you can actually ask these questions, and you get responses and you get sorted out. Okay. Now, another opportunity you'd have, as a tech talent is you can work remotely. Just like I mentioned, Upwork, one fantastic platform where you get remote jobs. All right. You can work remotely from Nigeria and earn in hard currency. All right. You can work remotely even if you're in the UK, you're in the US, you can work remotely from the comfort of your home. All right. And many of the sites, you can get remote jobs, LinkedIn, Flex Jobs, Indeed, Well Found, Upwork, like I mentioned earlier, and you'll be shown the practical way of applying on these different platforms. And this is just a snippet of what you stand to gain in the 1 month internship program. So you'll be working, you would have learned, a couple of skills, Excel, Power BI, to Tableau, for the data science program, you learn Python, you learn ED, you learn computer vision, but you now get to apply this on more real life scenarios. So you get experience from your classes, working on real life scenarios, but you take a step further on, attacking these problems yourselves. Okay. And you also have a dedicated coach, that would hold your hand in, that hold your hand through this journey, just like your live classes as well, right? You get the support you need, and you also work with a community of like minds, all right? And this is one of the things that, would help you, in your journey to becoming a data analyst or a data scientist. So I'll just talk a bit of some of our facilitators, and I'll get into some of the questions that you're asking in the chat. All right. So just a couple of moments and we'll get there. So we have Adesa. You all have heard about Adesa at the beginning of this session. Kingsley introduced Adesa, founder of Tenalytics. You also heard of Efemena April, all right, the co-founder of Tenalytics. They're fantastic professionals with, the combined experience of close to 2 decades, all right, across several sectors as well. You saw doing, walk us through how to leverage, Tableau as a data analyst or a data scientist. All right, you'll be working with Oladapo. Oladapo works for one of the big four. All right, he's a fantastic professional, in the data space as well. They are trained up to 2,000 participants to date. You also be working with Olubemi. Olubemi works with Law Depot in Canada. All right, Olubemi is an expert using Python, Power BI, SQL, as well as Excel. And these are the quality of facilitators, that would walk you through, give you that experience, okay, and share that experience with you. You have Brimer. Brimer is a senior data associate here with Analytics, has about 5 years of experience walking you through the data science program. We also have Toma. Toma is also a senior data associate with close to a decade of experience, um, you know, walking people through getting started as a data scientist and also industry experience. Okay, you have Obina Oyema. So the you get the slides, right? And you can, in your leisure time, go through it in detail. So you have Ibrahim Anima Shao, a machine learning engineer with um, Bryant Dental in the UK. You have Abdurrahman Yaniwura, also a data scientist with the Big Four. And now, we've come to the questions you all have been asking. So I see people asking, so is it free? So Mohammed, you've said fantastic stuff. Is this all free? Or do we have to part way with some cost? Now, to join our next cohort starting on the 7th of October, all right, you pay, if you're paying in pounds, you need to pay £400, all right? £400 to join our program, or 320,000 naira if you're paying in naira. But there's a good news, all right? What's the good news? We are currently running a discount, right? We are currently running a discount. So instead of paying £400 or paying 320,000 naira, all right, you pay £300, all right, £300. Okay, if you're paying in pounds, that's the discounted price, or you pay 270,000 naira. Okay, 270,000 naira. And I can see some reactions in the chat. Now, I want you to take time out and go online, make your research, and then compare the price range of many of the training programs that you find out there. Now you have some of them that are free, all right, but how do you work your way within a space of 3 months, starting out with zero experience, to getting a tech job? You all know how you have an idea of how the job market can be. It's a jungle to be in. But how do you get your compass right? How can you get access to top professionals in the space like myself, like Tony, like Adesa, like Efemena, walk you through step by step in getting that job? Okay, so that's what you should focus on. So if you're paying in dollars, you pay 400 US dollars. And if you're paying Canadian dollars, you pay 500 Canadian dollars. And you can pay in 2 installments. All right. You can pay in 2 installments. Now, if you're paying in pounds, you pay £200 to register, £200 to register, and £100 1 month after the program begins. All right. And if you're paying in Naira, you pay 180,000 Naira to register and 90,000 Naira 1 month into the training program. Okay. If you're paying in US dollars, you pay 300 US dollars to register and 100 US dollars 1 month after the program has commenced. Okay. And likewise, if you're paying Canadian dollars, you pay 350 Canadian dollars to register and 150 Canadian dollars 1 month after the training program begins. So how do you pay? All right. And my colleagues will be in the chat sharing the payment links with you. All right. So if you're using your card, you can pay via PayPal anywhere you are, across the globe. All right. Pay via PayPal, okay, by clicking on these links. All right. So if you're paying the full payment, you click on this link. Or if you want to pay the part payment, you want to leverage the installmental payments, you can use the part payment um, link. All right, you can use the part payment link. So you see my colleagues in the chat pasting the link, all right, for you to go through. Now, again, if you want to pay, via transfer, all right, and you can see my colleague already in the chat giving you the information, all right. So you'd have the details to our accounts if you're paying from the UK or you want to pay to our Nigerian account. So you'll have these details provided to you. And again, you get the slides and you get this information. You also have it. You can also go into the chat and you know make use of that. Now, if you are paying in Naira, all right, with your card, you can pay via Paystack using this link. All right, pay via Paystack using this link. Okay, and everything has also been provided in the charts. Okay, so after you make payments, ensure to upload your payments, your proof of payments, which is your receipt, using this link, also available in the chat. All right, so it's a single link where the houses everything you see, where you should pay and how you should upload your receipts after payment. All right. Now I'll just walk you through some of the projects you'll be working on. All right. Now, just like Toyin walked us through a real life project, you also be working on several real life projects. Okay. So this is the Casio Technologies. So it's centered around the younger folks leaving the organization, and the organization is trying to set up a world-class gym. So you as an analyst, you bring your technical expertise into helping the organization make an informed decision on whether they should go on, setting up the gym or not. Also be working on Nestle product analysis. So you'll be working on um, products, work on Nestle product data, right? Helping Nestle generate insights into what products are more profitable, where should they channel their marketing towards, right? You also be working on online food delivery, all right? So you'll be working on that particular um, project, a real life project, and you have a facilitator, all right, on a session just like we are now, walking you through step by step on how you apply these tools and apply techniques in solving these problems. So we have many other projects, real life projects that you're working on. How to detect fraudulent transactions, for a bank. You'll be attacking employee attrition, so employee leaving the organization, right? Why these employees leaving? Okay, and how do you mitigate this from happening? So you'll be working on that. You'll be working on data science salaries as well. So there are many more projects that you would also be working on, starting from your first class down to your 1 month internship. And the projects go on and on. So you get the slides, you get the details, to each of those projects. Now, let me talk about some of our success stories. And just like I mentioned, just yesterday, all right, just yesterday, today, I received messages from some of my participants who I single-handedly, prepared for an interview, telling me they got the job. All right. And I've not even had time to even capture that to publish, just like I have Nathaniel here. But Femi Nathaniel got a full-time job as a data analyst with Boehringer Ingelheim. Now, Boehringer Ingelheim is the largest private pharmaceutical firm in the universe. All right, you can make your research. All right, Obafemi Nathaniel got a job with Boehringer Ingelheim in Spain. All right, with close to about 1,500, employees. So Nathaniel got the job there after registering for our data analytics and data engineering program. So I prepared Nathaniel for this particular interview. Okay. And see what Nathaniel says here. And I want you to focus. Nathaniel says, I used the method you taught me. And they were like, wow. I used the method you taught me. And they were like, wow. And you can see here, he excitedly told me, I got the job, man. Got the confirmation now. Thank you so much for your help. Okay, thank you so much for your help. And this goes to show how effective, right, our interview preparation sessions, help participants get jobs across the globe. All right. We also have Benga. Benga was prepared for an interview by Adesa, founder of Analytics. All right. Benga had three offers. Three offers. And if you look closely, you see Benga says, okay, this is a congratulations from Adesa. And Benga says, additionally, I got three more offers. Three more offers. All right. Three more offers. So, and he got the job as a business data analyst after training, with us in one of our programs, the data analytics program. All right. We also have Stephen Anointing. Stephen got a job as a junior data analyst, with Access Group in the UK after registering for our data analytics program. You also have Wislin. Wislin got a job with Shell, right? Shell in the UK as a sales analyst after registering for one of our programs. You also have Emeka. All right, Emeka works a full-time job now as a digital analyst with the Western Union headquarters. All right, as a digital analyst. After registering for one of our programs, we have Olubemi. Olubemi is a fantastic guy. He works with Lord Depot in Canada. Okay. Yeah, you can watch, some of our testimonial videos. And again, I want to encourage you to go to our YouTube page. It's packed with a lot of, videos that it will open you up to what we offer here at the Analytics. And you'd see many of our testimonial videos in there, and you can watch all of them. Now you have Usman Yusuf, got a job with the NHS in the UK, just like the participant I was talking about, who got a job, one yesterday and one today. The one that got a job yesterday was registered with our March cohort. All right, she got a job with the NHS, and she got a visa sponsorship with that particular offer. Okay. This is Uthman. We also have Ubong. Ubong works as a full stack data scientist with Cognizant in the UK. All right. We also have Idris Adebisi, works with Jaguar Land Rover in the UK as a data engineer. And the list goes on and on. All right. Some of them were actually participants who got jobs just a week into the program, some a month into the program, and this is the chance you stand as a participant in one of our programs. So you'd get the slide at the end of the session, okay, and you get the opportunity to go through the details of everything that you have here, and you can see some of the testimonial videos we have in here. So listen to Miriam, listen to Ifoma, listen to Adebola. Also check out Quadri's testimonial. Go to Sheila, listen to her, listen to Mayawa. Also listen to Collins as well. All right. And go to our YouTube page. I keep on saying it. Just type Analytics in YouTube and you see our page. Ensure you subscribe, follow, and you wouldn't miss out on anything. Okay, so we have even more testimonials in here. Okay, and just like Kingsley mentioned earlier in today's session, our participants now work with the best of the best organizations across the globe. So the question now is, are you ready to take that leap with Analytics? Right? Are you ready to take that leap with Analytics? So I would be taking questions now. Okay, I'll be taking questions at this point. I'll be taking questions at this point. So you can put in your questions in the chat or raise your hand. Raise your hand and I'll call you out. I'll call you out to ask your question. All right. So I can see somebody asking, is this class collective class or individual? Now, you would have like minds, participants like yourself, together in class. All right. You have participants together with yourself in class. Okay. So we have a platform, the Google Classroom, and I'll show you a bit of that as we go on. Okay. So you'll be amongst like-minded people. All right. You learn how to work in a group and how to work independently as well. So we simulate a real life scenario where you're actually working. So, and that's why we tell our participants that when you register with us, your time into analytics not just stands as a mere training program, but as a work experience. Right. So it stands in as work experience for you. And that's because we confidently take you through real life scenarios, the experiences of the top professionals that will be walking you through these programs is what you'll be working on in class and you'll be learning several concepts. So I hope that answers your question. So was he in abroad or working as remote? So many of our participants work both abroad and they work remotely. You saw Victor. I don't know. I'm not sure if you saw Victor. Victor Yoshino. Victor Yoshino works remotely with Hugo. Hugo is in Chicago, Illinois, and Victor resides in Nigeria, Lagos. Right? Victor resides in Lagos, Nigeria, works remotely, earns in dollars, and you can just imagine how that feels. All right. So I hope that answers your question. So, Sunola, your hand is up. You want to ask a question? Go ahead, please. So, Sunola, I've asked you to unmute. If you have a question, please go ahead and ask. Hello, can anyone hear me? Please confirm if we can all hear me. So I'm not sure if Sunola can hear me. Still loud and clear. Thank you for that, Abel. All right. Yes. Okay. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you for that. So, okay. Sunola's question is, does BUS analyst use T? The question is not clear, but if I'm to guess right, you want to ask, does a business analyst use Tableau? If that's your question. Okay, I can't unmute myself. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, try unmuting now so that you can ask a question clearly.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted myself now. Hi, Mohammed. Yeah, how are you doing? Thank you so much for the insights to analytics. I know I've attended the class at analytics, but I wasn't too serious with it while in Lagos. I was about with last year.
Can you come again, please?
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, I said I've enrolled in analytics sometime last year, but I wasn't actually serious with it. But I confirmed to everyone in this class this night that analytics is just a place to be. And definitely I'm going in for this October's cohort, not missing that. Oh, now to my question. Presently, I study MSc in Business Analytics, but I'm thinking of going for data analytics with data analytics. So I want you to confirm. Now, since I'm studying MSc in data analytics in UK here, but I discovered that going for data analytics will be of more advantages to me because we're more needed in job market. I don't know. I'm just taking your advice. Do you think I should go for business analytics or I should go for data analysis in this cohort, forthcoming cohort?
Okay, that's a very good question, all right? Very great question. So again, what's the question I ask is there any particular niche you have for any of these career path? And do you understand the differences between where data analyst is and a business analyst is? So if your answer is, you can quickly confirm. Is your answer yes?
Yes, true. I do, but I know of data analysis will be more. I'm just looking at job markets as in what is most needed. When you have, I'm just looking at job markets.
Now,
If I'm looking at Tableau, like today, I've been hearing Tableau. I've never even dive. I've not even learned about Tableau. But tonight, with what we were taught, it's not a difficult thing, not a coding or whatever. It's what you can sit down and learn. As
yeah.
so I'm just
So
data analytics anyway.
okay. So before we conclude that one career path is, more in demand than the other career path, you need to do a lot of research. And I
Okay.
can tell you for free that both business analysts and the data analyst are career paths that are under the job shortage list currently as we speak. And up until 2030, you still have a shortage of business analysts, data analysts, um, data engineers, data scientists, and so on and so forth. So it boils down to which career path do you have that niche for? Are you a people person? Do you like to um, organize meetings and drive projects? If you are that person, then you want to take a look at our business um, analysis program. And you can also click on that link that was shared with that was shared by one of my colleagues on the chat. So you have the brochure, okay, and you can go through what each of these programs, you know, uh, have fully packed in them. So if you are the type of person that actually want to be at the forefront of generating insights from data, taking data-driven strategies, developing data-driven strategies for organizations, helping organizations take data-driven decisions, you want to, register for our data analytics program. And if you are looking to start out, so you really want to break into tech, but you don't really know which one, even after having a good understanding. Again, after having a good understanding of all these programs, ranging from our data analytics track to data science, to data engineering, to Power Platform, to financial analytics, HR analytics, and so on and so forth. After having a good understanding of each of these training programs, you actually don't have a niche for anyone, or you want to break into tech. Okay, my advice is to start with the data analytics track. So that gives you the first introduction. It's a very good way to enter into the tech space, all right, and actually land a tech job. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
Fantastic. So we hope to see you. We hope to see you October 7th
Sure,
in one of
sure.
our.
I'm in already by God's grace.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So
Hey, before
Kingsley,
you go, sorry, I'm sorry to say this. I'm not actually marketing for analytics. I'm in UK here. I'm studying university, MSc in data business analytics. But I can
yeah,
tell you what you're going to get in 3 months with 10 analytics. You can never compare it to what we're getting in the university for the whole year. I'm telling you for free. What we're going to get in 10 analytics in 3 months, you can never get that in the university in UK for 1 year. Because what they're teaching us here is not what is obtainable in the job market. I can tell you for free. I've done a semester here. Only what that we have been taught is Python, Python, Python. No any other visualization techniques. So 10 analytics, what you gain from them is what you will take you to job market, and we can see the testimony anyway. The testimony is there for us to see. So thank you so much, Mohammed.
a fantastic question. That was brilliant. All right, and it's after having the experience of both worlds, you now get to see for yourself that look, industry experience is miles apart from what you get, in the university. All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
So not to say university education is irrelevant, but
Mm.
if you're looking to break into tech and to actually land a job, this is what you need. All right. So thank you very much for that, Subola. So yeah, I would take another question. So comforter, Fred, your hand is up. Okay, so I've asked you to unmute, so you can go ahead and unmute.
Great. Thanks, Mohammed, and thanks, Tony, for a fantastic delivery. Yeah, I must say, I don't know, I wish I can jump on board within the next second. My question is, all the testimonies that are being shared by your participants, those past students, is it that they got the job based on the elected training, or you guys also encourage them to? Hello?
You seem to be asking a very interesting question, but I can't hear you clearly.
Yeah. So
can you come again?
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's a bit better.
Okay, sorry, not sure why, but
maybe
I'm on full volume. Okay, so what I'm saying is that look at the volume of testimonies being given by your past students and even the parents. Is it that after they went through electric that they got all these jobs, or you guys also encourage or entreat your students to also do other kind of formal education? Because I've seen on most platforms and also on the internet that if you want to do on a GS or a DE, so
sorry, I'm not sure if it's just me. All right. So, but I want us to confirm. Can we hear comforter, Fred? So I got a bit of your question. I heard you ask, I'm not sure if I got it, but you can tell me if I'm correct. So I heard you asking, so our participants that have gotten jobs, did they get the job after they had completed the program or while they were in the program? Is that your question?
Yes, yes. So that was the question, but did they just got a job based on analytics training, or you guys advise them to take other formal training? Because I've seen and read on most course, let's say, websites where they say that if you want to become a DS or a DE or a data engineer, you don't really need, let's say, a much formal education. Just
I'm really struggling to hear you right now, to be honest, and it's a pity. And I think others on the call too are experiencing the same thing. So it may be from your end. So I'm not sure how you can. And you seem to be asking a very interesting question that I would love to answer. Okay, so what I would say you do, right? Try to summarize the question, just the key points of the question. Type it in the chat, and then I'll pick it up and answer. All right, I will definitely pick it up and answer. Okay, but I'll just touch on one of the questions that I was able to pick up. Okay, so I was able to pick up the question, oh, do they get these jobs while on the program or after they must have completed the program? Now we have both happen. What we do is by the time you come on board, let's say for our data analytics program, so we ask you to update your profile on LinkedIn or CV that you are now working with analytics as a data analytics consultant. So those projects you do in class would stand as experience, industry experience, because that's exactly what is obtainable in the industry. And this is where we, differ from the university. So we bring in real life scenarios, just like, you experience with Tony, all right? Solving an actual business problem in class, all right? And I saw somebody asking, is it physical or is it, remote? It's 100% virtual, all right? Just like you are on this call, you have an instructor like myself, like Tony, walk you through step by step from end to end. All right. So we encourage participants to start to apply once they complete the first few weeks of classes. And I had one of my participants in the data analytics August cohort. Her name is Oluwatoyin. All right. Oluwatoyin is her name. Currently in the August cohort. She got a job with the NHS. All right. She got a job with the NHS. I prepared her for an interview about last week or so, and she's been given the offer. So what are those things that we do in these sessions, okay, that actually land these participant the jobs? And these are what you start to gain when you register with us. So we have a spectrum of participants who actually land these jobs while in the program. For example, we have Victor Yoshino. You saw Victor Yoshino got a job with Hugo in the US, works remotely in Nigeria. After the first week, after the first Excel class, all right, sorry, after completing the Excel package. So you have the data analytics track, you have the problem solving, then you have Excel. So immediately after Excel, Victor started to apply and got a remote job with Hugo. Right. We also have participants, like one of the participants who got a job also, her name is Ikma. Ikma got a job, just few days ago with NHS also. She had 2 offers from NHS and one other organization. All right. Ikmat finished and around, she joined our March cohort, right? So she completed her program about some months ago, but you still have access to, and this is what you gain from the program. Even after completing your program, you still have access to your facilitators. You have an interview, okay? You have an interview coming up. You can book an interview session with any of our team members. Okay, so you have a lifetime access to all your class materials, your recordings, your self-paced watch me do it videos, and this is the value we offer you as a participant. Talk less of the community of like minds, including the facilitator and the participants, your fellow participant that you also have access to. All right. So these are the things you stand to gain. So I hope that answers that part of the question. Comforter. So did they secure the jobs primarily through the training provided by Tenalytics, or were they also encouraged to pursue additional formal training? Now, if you look at my presentation, all right, I mentioned a two-faceted training that you are going to be exposed to. Highly immersive, two-faceted training here at Tenalytics. On the one hand, you are going to be undergoing the technical bits. You got a snippet from it from today's session, Tony walked us through step by step on how to, apply this technical prowess, using Tableau. That's one side of landing a job. The second side is what are the soft skills you need? What are the soft skills you need to actually land that job? Ranging from how your CV should look like, how should your LinkedIn profile look like? All right. Upwork optimization sessions also. Okay, I spoke about that. So these are beyond the technical bits that you'll be learning here at Tenalytics. Okay, and these are the the aspects that actually land you that job at the end of the day. Okay, and I spoke about it here in this slide. So you have the LinkedIn optimization session, you have the Upwork optimization session, you have navigating the job market, you gain access to our recommendation and reference letters, and you also have the job and interview prep sessions, like I mentioned earlier. You also have weekly mentorship sessions, to get encouraged and so on and so forth. Okay, so these parts are actually very, very important in landing the job. Okay, so somebody's asking, will 3 months be enough to land a job? Now, I'll tell you for a fact, okay, that 3 months is absolutely enough, but you can only achieve that here at Tenalytics. Why do I say so? You can go on YouTube and actually see, videos of people building dashboards, analyzing data, using Tableau, using Excel, using Python, but you don't have a structured learning environment. You don't have access to your facilitators in live sessions. How do you even position yourself in the job market? These are things that you need a structured learning environment like what we offer here at Tenalytics. So, and that reduces the entry bar from 1 year, 2 years to a few months. So in the real sense of it, you don't need to spend 2 years before you break into tech. It's when you rigmarole around YouTube videos with no direction because you want free materials. That's when you start to spend. I'm not saying it's impossible to get a job with those materials. Definitely possible, but it's going to take you 2 years, a year of hard work to actually get that job. Okay. But here at Analytics, we've been able to lower that. This is a tested and trusted system that we have here. And you can see go to our YouTube videos, go to our website, you see these things for yourself firsthand. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, Vivian. So I'll take 2 more questions and then we'll start to wrap up for today's session, right? So let's see. So if you want to speak, please, by all means, raise your hand. I would ask you to unmute. All right. Let's see. So the reason why Comfort was asking that question was I asked because there are other institutions that suggest one can enter roles like data science, data analysis, engineer, without necessarily needing a formal education. Okay, so when you say formal training and formal education, there are 2 different things. All right. So if what you mean is having a degree, all right, okay, you need a degree to get into tech, that is incorrect. You don't need a degree. Gone are those days when you need a degree for a specific role. The tech industry is primarily and predominantly skill based. What recruiters will be asking you is, what have you done? Can you do this? Show us what you can do. All right. And whoever is going to land the job is the one who have demonstrated that technical prowess. All right. Not who has a master's degree in data science or you have a PhD in data science. Okay. If you apply, I'm not saying, okay, it's irrelevant. All right, that's not what I'm saying. But let's say you have a master's degree or a PhD in data science and you're going to apply to a data science role in any organization, you still undergo the same interview process that someone who went through our program will undergo. All right, and you would need beyond your university experience, your educational experience to actually get that job. Okay, apart from the technicalities that you need on the job, you need to know how to speak in an interview session. What should you say? What should you not say? You need to have that mindset stepping into that session. So, and this is all fully packed in the training program. All right. So you gain access to all these by the time you register. Okay. Yes, absolutely, Vivian. It's 3 months is enough for a newbie. So you'll be walked through all the nitty-gritty, starting from scratch. Starting from scratch. Literally, what is data? Okay, what is data? So it's beginner friendly and um, it's been undergone by several participants, and they've had success stories. Please, by all means, go to our YouTube page, go to YouTube, type analytics, feast on, many of the testimonial videos that we have on there. All right. So yeah, we would be calling it a day. Be calling it a day on these notes. All right. So please ensure to take advantage of the discounts currently running. Okay, take advantage of the discounts currently running. It's not going to run forever. Okay, the first 20 participants, on this call will gain access to that particular discount. Okay, first 20 participants will make payments, will gain access to that particular discount. So please ensure you enroll, all right? And I hope to see you in class. Okay, so Ngozi has not filled the attendance. So Ngozi, I'll be pasting the attendance link in the chat now. So please click on the link and fill in the attendance so I can gain access to the recording and all other materials as far as this session is concerned. All right, so yeah, I can see your gratitude in the chat, Benjamin, much appreciated, Comforter, Ngozi also. All right, so hope to see you in class. All right, so Sonola also, right, Lovette, Margaret. So thank you very much for taking out time to attend this session. All right, so cheers, guys.